Good evening, all of you once more. So today we will be trying to understand about one more interesting board that is referred as Node MCU. Okay. Now this Node MCU is the official name of this one, but the original name is ESP8266. Okay. So this ESP8266 is the technical name. Now what is this Node MCU or ESP8266? Okay. Let me just show you the diagram of this one first. So here, if you look carefully, can you see the board present here? A very small one, first of all. So this board which you are looking here, this is your Node MCU board. So you can say either as a Node MCU board, or it is also having a technical name that is your ESP8266. So what is the benefit of this board? It has a lot of benefits. First benefit is that it is cheaper in cost to that of Arduino, first of all. Second is that it can be used to program all the things, whatever you have learned till now, whatever you are able to do on Arduino, those all things you can do here. That is the benefit of this board. So it is cheaper. You can do all those things which you have done in Arduino, and along with this, it contains something called as Wi-Fi module. Okay, so can you see here in the middle, this part? Okay, this is your Wi-Fi module. Okay, so along with the Arduino programming, there is a inbuilt hardware part that is your Wi-Fi module. Okay, so because of this Wi-Fi module, the board has become more powerful than that of Arduino board. Okay, so maybe in future you may come up with, or you may see Arduino board with Wi-Fi module also. Okay, are you getting my point, guys? Okay, so till now, or you can say I have seen actually few boards of Arduino with Wi-Fi, but if you go and purchase, you will not get that. Okay, but in future, maybe after 1 year, surely I am like in a 100% sure condition that the Arduino boards also will be having inbuilt Wi-Fi driver hardware part. Okay, so why this, or you can say what is the benefit of this Wi-Fi driver? Okay, we'll try to understand this. Okay, so this Arduino board along with Wi-Fi module is sometimes referred as the Node MCU board. Okay, so kindly just understand or keep in mind that this is the board which is called as Node MCU board. Okay, and the data cable which you are seeing here, that is simple mobile cable which you are using. Okay, that you can connect it here. Okay, so it's a very simple one. So if you don't buy data cable also, then there is no problem. You can use your mobile data cable also here. Okay, so this board, along as your Arduino board allows, this board also allows you to control the input outputs. Okay, so whatever IO pins we had in Arduino board, same we have also in this one. Okay, so I'll just make you understand where are those input output pins. Okay, and along with this, it is also having the Wi-Fi driver. Okay, so because of this, what happens? It is capable of giving you a better option of creating projects based on home automation. Okay, and the related stuff. Okay, so it helps you to connect to the external world wirelessly. Okay, that is the extra benefit which we have with this board. Okay, which is not present in the Arduino board. Okay, so better please write down this point. This board, this Node MCU board, provides an extra benefit of connecting through Wi-Fi, thereby giving an option to do projects like home automation, or you can say internet-based projects. Those things you can do here very easily. Okay, so please try to write down this point. It's very, very important. That is, Node MCU is a board which is similar to that of Arduino. Okay, but it has extra capability of Wi-Fi module. Okay, and because of that, it can connect to outer world wirelessly. Okay, and the projects like home automation or any kind of wireless based projects can be done very easily. Okay, and you can say because of this board only, the you can say in the academics field especially, the implementation of IoT based projects has become easier. Okay, So that's the reason why this board is becoming so famous these days. Okay, so let's now try to understand the next part. So these are some variations of the Node MCU boards. Okay, so as you can see here, so this is the first module which came into picture. Okay, and when this came into picture, it was not having the capability of processing and all. Okay, so it was actually used with the Arduino board. So Arduino plus ESP01 was the thing which was implemented earlier. Then more and more versions of ESP01, ESP2, 3, 4, 5, you can see. So in a span of like 5 to 6 years, these many versions have come here. Okay. And nowadays, the most famous ones are ESP12E. Okay. Clear? Okay. So ESP12E is the most famous one. Okay. So this ESP12E is something which is you can say the most important part. And the Node MCU board which I have shown you, okay, the Node MCU board which I have shown you, this Node MCU board is actually containing the ESP12E part. Okay, so please, it's really very important that you should know that out of these all versions, which one is the one which is present in Node MCU. So all of you write down that in the Node MCU board, ESP12E is implemented. Okay, so I hope this part is clear to all of you. Okay, now let's proceed forward. I remember when I was working, when I started the work, so this I used maximum time I used in ESP01, and then when these all boards came, actually these all boards were not so famous. Okay, directly when I was seeing the market, ESP12E became famous. Okay, and then this VMOS also is a famous one. Okay, 12E, VMOS, these two are most famous ones. Okay, so you can in the market also, if you try to purchase the boards, you will see that in the market you are getting either ESP01 board or you are getting ESP12E boards. Okay. So now let's proceed forward. So these are some specifications. You can say some important features which is the part of the ESP boards. Okay. So it is having 802.11 protocol based Wi-Fi LAN driver. Okay, and that LAN driver is actually also called as Wi-Fi direct, that is P2P connection. Okay, next it is also containing software enabled access points. Because of this, a lot of extra features you will find out, like for example, when your ESP device or your Node MCU is trying to connect with another Node MCU, then there this software enabled access points helps you to maintain one of them as server and others you can make them as clients. Okay, so that extra feature is present here. Now in order to maintain the complete networking features and all, because you know that whenever there is a communication between one device to other device, the networking is very important. Okay, that's why the complete TCP/IP protocol stack is implemented here. Okay, so you might have heard about TCP/IP. So you nowadays when you use internet like Gmail and all, okay, so when you are using internet, when you are using Gmail and all, so there also they are using the networking protocol of TCP/IP. Okay, this one is a very you can say very famous protocol, and it brings lot of security or authentication that whatever data you are sending, that will be safe, that will be secured. Okay, next it it is made up of a low power 32-bit CPU, okay, and it contains some extra features like SDIO, SPI, and UART. Okay, so this SDIO is also a very important feature which is present here. Okay, so and along with this, you also have SPI and UART feature. Okay, so if you remember when I was explaining you about serial communication, the universal asynchronous and all, okay, so that feature is present here. Along with this, SPI, serial peripheral interface feature, is also present here. Okay, next, one more feature which is of a greater importance is that is SDIO, that is secure digital input output feature. Okay, so because of these features, you can say the Node MCU, or you can say ESP8266 based boards are becoming more famous these days. Okay, so you may see in future that instead of Arduino boards, you will be seeing that you are using ESP8266 Node MCU boards. Okay, because of these extra features. Okay, so I hope this part is also clear to all of you. See, in this you don't have to learn by heart all the things. When you will try to implement one or two features, automatically these all things will come there, and you will get the point. Okay, so no need to learn by heart also. Okay, so now let's see the next point. So this is the complete diagram where you can see the complete structure of Node MCU, ESP12E Node MCU pinout. Okay, now here we will not cover all the pins. I'll not explain you each and everything here, because you can say, in order to, if you really want to learn these things, you should go in two steps. One is called beginner stage and one is called advanced stage. Okay, so as you are aware of very basics of Arduino and all, so if I try to explain you all the advanced features now only, so you may face problem. Okay, so instead of doing that, let me try to just make you understand the beginner features of this Node MCU board. Okay, so let's start to understand. Okay, so if you look carefully, can you see there are many places where it is written GPIO? Can you see that, guys? At many places it's written GPIO. So GPIO means general purpose input output. Okay, so general purpose input output means these are those channels through which you can either insert the information or you can take the information out. Okay, so that's why it is referred as general purpose input output. And after that, you will see it's written, some numbering is done there, and that is also not in order. Okay, 16, 5, 4, 0, 2. Okay, one point I just forgot to tell you. Arduino board works on a power supply of 5 volt. Okay, means if you really want to work on Arduino board, you have to give a power supply of 5 volt. Whereas on this board, if you give the power supply of 5 volt, then this device will stop working. Okay, it will, you can say, internally it will get damaged. Okay, it cannot resist the power supply of 5 volt. Okay, so whenever you are trying to connect this board, you have to give the power supply maximum of 3.3 volt. Okay, so you may say, sir, that from where I will come to know that the power supply is 3.3 volt. Okay, so that's why I am saying you, either you can connect it with the data cable of your mobile. Okay, or you can connect with the specific power supply hose which is giving 3.3 volt. Okay, any power supply more than 3.3 volt will damage this device. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. Better please write down this point. It's very important, so that if suppose in future you are purchasing and if no one is telling you and you are giving the power supply of 5 volt, you will see that device gets damaged. Okay, so it's important that you should connect the power supply of 5 volt, not more than that. Okay, now what else you have to understand here is the GPIO pins. So this general purpose input output pins are those pins where you can connect any kind of general input output device. Okay, that's why these GPIO pins are there. Along with this, if you look carefully on the board also, here some pins are mentioned there, some naming is mentioned there, like D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, 3V3, ground, D5, D6, D7, D8. Can you see that, guys? Please write in the chat box. Can you see that? D0, D1, D2, D3 and all. I have made an arrow in order to show you. Just please write in the chat box if you're able to see. I hope you are able to see that. Though it is looking very, very small, but I'm trying to show you with the arrow. Kindly check it out, guys. Are you able to see that? Are you able to see, guys? Then just tell me. Are you able to see D0, D1, D2, D3, D4 and all? I hope you are able to see. If you are unable to see, then just look at my highlighter yellow pins. Look here. I've just drawn a line just to show you. Okay. D0 is present here. D1 is present here. D2 is present here. D3 is present here. Like that you can see here. I hope now it is visible to all of you. Okay. So these D0, D are also called as digital pins. Okay. So in this Node MCU board, if you want to refer these channels, either you can refer through GPIO pins or you can refer through these digital pins. Okay, getting my point, guys? So there are two ways to refer. And in this, there is only one analog channel, that is A0. You can see here. It is marked here. Okay. Kindly I'll just erase and you can see once more. Look here, guys. So this is A0. Okay. So it has only one analog pin, and rest whatever you are seeing there, those are our digital pins. Okay. Clear to everyone? So these digital pins are the pins where you can connect the digital devices, and there's only one pin, analog pin, where you can connect the analog devices. Okay. Now, how to use it? Okay. Okay. Rest of them, which you are looking here, they have a special feature. This also has some special feature. For time being, you forget. Okay, because now you won't understand, because in order to understand them, small theory also you have to understand, and practically once you are doing, then only you can understand completely. Okay. So today we'll see only the basic part, that is all those GPIO pins. So all those GPIO pins are those pins where you can connect any kind of general purpose, any input device or any output device that you can connect here. Okay. And only there is only one analog channel, that is A0, and there you can connect any kind of analog device. Clear to all of you? So it's really very important to understand these pins. Okay. So in order to keep it more clear, what I'm trying to do is I'll proceed forward and I'll try to make you understand something in more detail. Okay. So if you look here carefully, out of all those pins, whichever pins which is shown in green, they are the ones which are generally used. Okay, means it has been found out that if you try to use these green pins, this complete hardware will work very accurately, and you will get the very desired kind of output. Okay, like for example, if you want to connect any digital sensor, then it is better that you use D1, D2, D5, D6, D7. Okay, these will be the ones which will give you the better output. Okay, and suppose if you want to send any digital output, in that case also D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7. Okay, you can use these all for sending any data outside. Okay, so these are the ones which are better ones. Okay, which are always free, and once you mark it, you will be able to use it. Okay, that is the benefit of these pins. Okay. So other than this, there are many more things which I should make you understand, but as you all are in the very basics part, so it's important that you should understand only the the important things. Now here one more thing which you have to keep in understand is that the D1, you're seeing here D1. I hope you are able to see that. Okay, so this D1 and GPIO 5, they both means the same thing, guys. Please try to understand. Okay, D1 and GPIO 5 both are having the same meaning. Okay, so while we are doing the programming, Suppose you want to use channel number GPIO2. So either you can write GPIO2 or you can write directly D4. Okay, both will mean the same thing. Please try to understand this point. Okay, so either I can write D4 or I can write GPIO2. Both will have the same meaning. Clear to everyone? Okay, so if you are still having some doubt, let me just explain you with some program. Okay, or you can just keep in mind a simple concept that if you want to use the D pins, you can write D1, and if you want to write GPIO, you have to only write the number part. Means if I write 5, it means GPIO 5. Okay, if I write 4, it means GPIO 4. Okay, for D and all, we will write directly the digital channels D2, D1, D0, D3, D4. That way we will write. Okay, so either we will follow the labeling based programming, or we will be directly calling the numbers, which will actually mean GPIO. Okay, that is the thing which you have to keep in mind. Okay, so let's try to move forward, and let's try to see that if we have to I mean connect our Arduino board, our Node MCU board, then how we can connect. Okay, so maybe you might have got the little bit idea that how to install Arduino. So once you install Arduino, so you don't have to install ESP8266 or Node MCU board. This is actually not any software. So this ESP8266 or Node MCU board, for that software is again used is Arduino only. Okay, but there is a separate driver which is actually you have to install that. Okay, so I will try my best to make you understand this complete installation part, so that you should get a complete idea that okay, if I follow this, I will be able to do it. Okay, so please listen very carefully. In this part, if you have any doubt, you can write in the chat box. I will try to make you understand. Okay, just after the end of the class. Okay, so if you look here, once you have installed Arduino, and when you double click and you open the software, you will be getting this kind of option. Okay, and in that, when you click on the file button, you will get these options which is shown here. Okay, options like new, open recent, sketchbook, examples. Okay, so these all options will be visible to you when you press the button file. Okay, so once you open up the Arduino software, and once you click on file, you will get these all options. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to click on the option that says preferences. Okay, so once you click on the button preferences, what will happen? You will be actually seeing this kind of page in front of you. Okay, so you can see this is the first screen which will be visible to you, and if you click on preferences, you will get this screen in front of you. Okay, now let's try to understand what is the importance of this. Okay, so in order to understand it, let me just tell you what is the importance of this. So this actually helps you to install any add-on software. Okay, so add-on software means ESP8266 is actually a add-on software. It is not actually the complete software package, because if it would have been a complete software package, we would have installed the separate complete package of Node MCU in order to run it. Okay, so you can say this Node MCU ESP8266 is a you can say add-on software which is actually installed in the Arduino software directly. Okay, so now in order to install the software, what we have to do is we have to first of all pass the add-on value, add-on link, so which you can see here. Okay, so this is, you can see it's also written here, additional board manager. Okay, so Node MCU is a board. Okay, so for running that board, we require the add-on that is called as ESP8266 add-on. Okay, so for that, what we have to do is we have to pass a URL here. Okay, and that URL, once you write here, you have to press OK. Okay, getting my point, guys? I'll repeat once more. You click on the file button, click on preferences, you will get this page, and on this page you have to write this location. Okay, this address. Okay, now you may be having some confusion that, sir, from where I'll get this address. So don't worry, I'll just give you the address also. You can just note it down. Just wait a bit. Let me just in the next slide. What I have done, I have written the complete link. Okay. So if you look carefully, the first link which you are seeing here, that is sorry, the second link which you are seeing here, arduino.esp826.com staple package esp826.com underscore index.json. Okay, so this is the file which is important to you, which you have to put in the extension. Okay, so just which I was showing you here. Okay, look at this point, look at this place, this location which you are seeing here. So here what we have to do, we have to write the location of the URL. Okay, we have to write the URL here. Now suppose when you are opening this preference page and you are seeing something is written there, let's suppose something is written there. So it's better that you should not delete whatever is written there. You should not delete it. Okay. So if you delete, there will be problem. Okay. So what my advice is that you should not delete it, whatever is written there. Then how I will write the URL link, I mean, which is important for you to write. So what you will do is you will be separating these two links by semicolon. Okay. So that only I was trying to show you in the next slide. So if you look at the next slide, can you see I have written two links here, and first link is this one. Okay. And this is the second link. Can you see that, guys? And both the links are separated by comma. Sorry, don't write semicolon, you have to write comma. Okay. So these two links are actually separated by comma, and because of that, your second URL will also get executed. Let's suppose you got one more URL, and that also you have to keep. So what you will do, again you will write a comma here at the last, and again you will pass on the third URL. Okay. So in this way, you can pass on as many URLs you want. Okay. So because of this, what will happen? Your driver will be automatically updated. Okay. So let's try to move forward and let's try to understand that if I put this and if I press OK, then what will happen? Okay. So once you press OK, you will observe that, just make sure, guys, that your internet is connected there. Okay. So once you have done and when you will press OK, some downloading will take place, and once that downloading is done, it will get updated automatically, and you will lead to this page. Okay, the normal page of the Arduino. Okay. Now what you will do, you will go to the option of tools. You will click on the option of tools, and there you will click on the option of board. Okay. So once you click on the option of tools, and then once you click on the option of board, you will get the option of board manager. Okay. So what we have to do is we'll click on the button board manager. Okay. So once you click on the button board manager, it will open up like this. Okay. So once it open up like this, what we have to do is we have to write what driver you want to install. Okay, that you will be writing here. Okay. So if you look carefully in this scenario only, if I write the value which I've written here, you can see here I've written what, ESP8266. So once you write this your software name ESP8266, you will observe that you are getting an option of one file, or you can say one option. There will be many options here. Okay, you can scroll and see also. Okay, this is the one through which you can run your complete complete software. Okay, here. Okay, so once you write ESP8266, you will observe that you are getting an option of one community file, that is ESP8266 by ESP8266 community. Okay, you will get that. Okay, so what will happen once you get this? You will also observe here that in this area it's written there install button. Okay, you will see a highlighted install button is present there. Okay, so it shows that that it is not installed. If it is written remove, it means it is installed. That you have to keep in mind. Okay, so once you click on the button here installed, so what will happen? The software, the complete ESP8266 add-on will be installed properly. Okay, and once it is installed properly, then only we can proceed forward and use it as a I mean a a driver where ESP8266 node MCU based programs can run. Okay, so let's try to understand how this can be done. Okay, so if I just move forward, so once you have done till that place, what will happen? Your ESP8266 driver is completely installed. Okay. Now, once that is installed, what we have to do? We have to connect the Arduino software with, we have to connect the Arduino software with the Arduino hardware. So here, as you know that we are trying to learn about ESP8266. So what we'll do, we'll try to connect the ESP8266 hardware part with with the software of with the software which is shown in front of you. Okay. Now, once you have done that much, what you will do, you will click on the option of tools once more and click on the board once more, and you will see that you are getting an option of Node MCU. Can you see here, guys? Node MCU 1.0 ESP12E module. Okay, you'll get the option here like this. So what this option actually shows that whatever installation was required, you have done it. Okay, suppose if you are not getting this option, that is Node MCU 1.0 ESP12E module, it means that your hardware, okay, your software program is not actually installed properly. Okay, so step number one will be to install the Node MCU software. Okay, and better you again close the complete Node MCU board and reopen once more, and then you again give a try. Okay, so I'm sure this Node MCU 1.0, if you're getting, you can check yourself that your software is actually you're installed properly. Okay, then what you will do, once you get this, you have to click on this. So once you click, what will happen? You can see it's written here Arduino UNO, yes or no? So instead of Arduino UNO, you will see that Node MCU 1.0, this content will be written here. Okay, getting my point, guys? I hope yes. Okay, so even if you look at the next image here, can you see this image here? So here, once you click on Node MCU 1.0, instead of Arduino, what is written here, guys? Look carefully. Is written Node MCU 1.0. Okay, so and along with this, what we have to do, we have to also connect the port of it. Okay, this port is again very important. I have seen students writing the program and trying to run the program, and they are not getting the output. Why? Because correct port is not selected. Okay, so if you're getting more than one port, better you can just talk to me someday. If suppose you are using it, and suppose you're getting more than one node, I'll teach you that how you can select the board which the port which is important for you. Okay, so that's not very important, important thing here for time being. Just to keep in mind that after selecting the microcontroller, that is Node MCU 1.0, what we can do, we can search for the COM port. Okay, it's also called as COM port. Okay, I hope this part is also clear to all of you. So let's now proceed forward. So let's try to now see an example. So as I told you, here the programming will also remain almost same. Okay, I can say 99% it is almost same. Okay, so you can see what is written here. It is written here int pin equal to 2. So pin is written as 2. So what does this pin 2 means? Actually, it means GPIO2. Just now I told you. Okay, so either it can be checked with the help of D0, D1, D2, and all. And in the other end, if you are trying to use GPIO pins, so there is no hurry. Directly you can write the pin number, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever is written there, that you can check it out. Okay, I hope this part is also you have understood. So either you can write here, if you want, you can write here D0. So in that D0, D1, D2, D3 pins will be actively working. Okay, or else the upper part can be it can be utilized. Okay, so here to make it easy, I have used here 2. That means GPIO 2. Okay, Now, if you look at the loop part, it's very simple. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to just blink the LEDs. Okay. So you all know how to write a program to blink the LED. I'm sure you will be able to do it yourself. Okay. So here either I mean you can use directly Arduino pins where you have to clean where you have to use it directly, or you can instead of that, or what you can do, you can use GPIO pins also. Okay, here instead of GPIO pins I can write here D0 also. Okay, you all know where is D0, yes or no? Just now I was showing you. If you want I can show you once more also. So just have a look, guys. So if I just like to show you, so if you remember this pin, can you see here D0, D1, D2, D3 and all? So instead of writing GPIO or instead of writing 2 there, if you want to I mean point out using digital pins, then you can write D0, D1, D2 also. Okay. So in that way you can connect as many things as required. Okay. This is also the correct way. Okay. So let's now try to move forward and let's try to understand the next part. So it is simple LED blinking program, and I hope you have understood. And when you try to run it on the Node MCU board, you will find it very easy to run the program. Okay, and it will be shown in this format as you can see here. Okay, so I hope this is also clear to all of you. It is the same program. Okay, now this ESP8266 is having some peripherals also. These peripherals are, you can say, the advanced feature which is present other than GPIO feature. So GPIO feature means simple general purpose input output feature. So suppose you want to utilize some extra features, some extra peripheral features, then you can use these features. Okay. So one is that it contains 17 GPIO pins. So out of all, you can see total 17 GPIO pins. All of them are not used. Okay, some of them are used, some of them are not used. Okay, if they are not used, then there is a specific reason behind that. Okay, but which one is frequently used and all, that all I have shown uh, with some pins. Okay, in the green color, if you remember. Okay, now it has also some extra features like SPI, I2C, I2S, UART, and ADC. Okay, so these are the advanced features which you have to focus on after understanding the basic feature. Okay, so maybe in by the end of the class, or maybe